preparing. Hello, everybody, for Clear Vision Wednesday. I am Claudia Mühlenweg from the Natural Clear Vision Institute, and today we will talk about something that's really dear to my heart. It's about the top mistakes, and I have 4 mistakes we're going to cover today in natural vision improvement. And that's why so many of you might say, this stuff doesn't work. This doesn't work. It doesn't matter if you talk about the Bates method or natural vision improvement. You're like, I tried this and it doesn't work. Many of my clients, I kind of have 3 categories of clients. One of my client group is like they've tried it themselves for like 20, 30 years, bought all the books, did all the workshops, did all this stuff, bought maybe tapes or CDs, and really didn't see major improvements in their vision. And they're like, they still like the idea and kind of, but really are also frustrated. Another group is people that have never heard about it. I talked to my dentist this morning and he was like, wait, he's a very mild myope and we were talking about this. He's very interested. So he has never heard about this. And I don't know, I'm not saying he's going to join my program, but maybe he's open to like, oh, let me try this out. And then there's a group in the middle that has heard about it really a little bit, but has never really tried anything. So let's break it down. Why? What are the mistakes? What are the key 4 mistakes? So the first one, we all talk about eye exercises. And when we mean eye exercises, we talk about um, things that are, like, let me see, do I have a pencil here? Yeah. So sometimes in behavioral therapy, vision therapy, people talk about pencil push-ups. So it's like you're looking at your pencil or your thumb and you're just moving it in and out. And by the way, I'm wearing orange blue blockers because I'm in Europe and it's like 9 p.m. and I'm trying to like not be awake for another 6 hours. So it's a kind of a mechanical approach, or you're rolling your eyes around in a circle. And I'm always saying there's nothing wrong with these exercises. They will definitely stretch your extraocular eye muscles, but vision improvement is not mechanical eye exercises. Vision is a sense, and we see in the brain, and we need to address it from a brain-based sensory approach versus a mechanical muscular approach. So what I talk about is kind of a sense of mindfulness, doing the practices, tuning in, like, how does it feel when I do this? Do I feel strained? Does that feel relaxing? It's really about being aware of your vision. And some of the techniques that I do teach might be called exercises. I prefer the word relax exercises because most people with poor vision have strained muscles around the eyes and strained to see. And it's interesting because I do want to mention my dentist this morning, who has just a minus 125. He told me very, very mild myopia. And I saw him, like, he looked at me like, I'm like, you're doing the typical myopic stare. He's like, okay, I'm like, blink, 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 relax. Like, he's like, yeah, I do. I do that a lot. I'm like, see, so that's the first step of being aware, noticing that you have a kind of adopted a bad habit. And then we have to break that habit. So it's not so much about doing a ton of exercises, but really understanding what strains your eyes and your visual sense and what relaxes it. And then kind of using these techniques to turn them eventually into habits, right? And again, some of the things you might want to call them exercises, but it's not about, I always use this example of a client who I had, and he just did like, there's a technique called the swing that we do. And he would say like, I did 100 swings every day. Like, and I'm like, how did your eyes feel afterwards? Did you feel more relaxed? He's like, oh, I wasn't paying any attention. So he did them in a purely mechanical way, as if you were doing like, okay, give me 20 crunches or 20 push-ups, but without any kind of connection to the sensory experience. And that's number 1 mistake. So it's not mechanical eye exercises, okay? That won't work. They don't hurt you, but they also really don't help you see better. The second thing is this idea, I get this question a lot. How quickly will I see results? And I know you're not going to like the answer. And I said, it depends. Some people literally see results the first day. When I did my 4-day training last 2 weeks ago, people saw results the first day. They're like, my eyes are so much more relaxed and lubricated. And things seem to be more clear. And for others, we had people in my Natural Key Vision program, which is a 12-week course. And for 11 weeks, they said, nothing is changing. Like, and then all of a sudden, boom, something happened. And all of a sudden they were like, that's so interesting. And they would go to the eye doctor and they say the cataract is gone, the astigmatism is gone. So expecting these immediate results, or the thinking of, if I put in X amount of time, I will see X amount of results. It doesn't work like that. You have to be committed to doing the things, but also realizing it's not about, again, putting in so many hours. It's about realizing that success comes when you relax. And relaxation and putting pressure on yourself to be a good performer and doing all the right things won't work. So you have to be able to be like relaxed about when the success comes. And again, I have seen people succeed immediately and others take longer. And when I did my own vision improvement journey, I was always on the slower side. And I was in the teacher training eventually, and everybody else was able to do things that I couldn't do. And it can get really frustrating. But then sitting with your emotions. As a farsighted person, guess what? I was farsighted. Anger, frustration, impatience, very typical emotions and farsightedness. I'm like, and she's like, well, sit with that. I'm like, she's Scottish, so her accent was cute. But okay, so I was sitting with it. And you know what? When I did that and then kind of went into the world, understanding the principles, all of a sudden things fell into place. But I had done the pre-work. It's like, think of painting. You prep, you masking tape, you do all this stuff, and then you're ready to see the great results. So you have to commit to doing it, but also be open to receiving the results whenever you're really ready. Okay, so that's the second mistake, like thinking if it doesn't work within a week, this is not going to work for me. The third one, it's kind of, there's two categories. So either, and I'm having some dummy glasses here that I'm using as an example. So either being so tethered to your prescription glasses that you're not willing to let go and do things without your glasses ever. And if you're wearing these prescription glasses, these are just some dummy readers, but prescription glasses all the time, guess what? Nothing is going to change. So you have to be willing to get out of your prescription glasses. And I'm always saying driving is this exception, so please be safe. But anything else, gardening, cooking, cutting vegetables, anything where it's not like don't do your tax return with blurry vision, or don't do anything like important emails and you send it to the wrong person. We want to have clear vision, but you can be reduced glasses for that particular distance, because what you need for the computer is not the same that you need for distance or for reading close up. Okay, so but where can you do things without glasses? Where can you let go of having that super crisp, clear vision at all times? Because that's the space where we can improve. The other end of that extreme that I see, people are like, -10 myopia. They basically have no clarity beyond like 10 centimeters. They throw their glasses away and like, I'm going to do this. Bates said, you should throw your glasses away. And then they get stuck in this blurry vision and they're on the computer like this with their pinhole glasses. That's also not going to work. So a key approach is stepping down in your glasses, getting specific glasses for the distance that you need, because glasses strength depends on the distance. And that's what I teach in Natural Clear Vision. It's really important. And when I get this other question, how much can I reduce? Like, I don't know. I don't know your glasses. I don't know your vision with these glasses. So maybe you can reduce nothing, or you can just at least remove the astigmatism or get out of your progressives or varifocals. But maybe you can just do that, what I call clean diopters, right? Which is removing the astigmatism with a formula I actually learned from an optometrist. But maybe you're so overcorrected that you can already reduce for like a half a diopter, one diopter. I don't know. This is the exact approach that works the same for everybody. But I know how to teach you how to measure yourself and step down. So that's important. Willingness, if you have progressive glasses and you need glasses for more than one distance, willingness to have two pairs of glasses, or maybe even three for a certain amount of time, until you're able to do some things. If you're nearsighted, you can very likely be at a point where you don't need glasses for reading. So maybe you need them for computer and for driving. And if you're farsighted, maybe you can go without glasses for distance vision and you still need some glasses for computer or reading, right? So most people will just need two pairs or maybe just one pair. And then there's a few of you who might need three different pairs. And yes, that's less convenient than progressive glasses, but first of all, it costs you just a few bucks, and it will not create all these postural problems that people have with progressive glasses. So If you ever see somebody on a Zoom like this, they wear progressive glasses because they're looking through the lower part of the lens, which is for near vision. But now they have to make these weird head movements, right? So that's a third mistake, either being so attached to your prescription glasses that you are not willing to let go, or you're like, I'm going to throw these glasses away, and you're running around with squinting your eyes all the time, or like basically creating weird postural habits that are actually basically making, there's basically no way you can progress, right? You're basically now eliminating any clarity at any point in any time of your life, and that's not going to help you to improve your vision. And the last one is, and I see this again, I touched on this in the beginning, thinking of to do it yourself. And I'm not here to just tell you buy my program, but I realized for myself, and I've seen this over and over and over again in my students who, again, many of them have tried this for 30 years, 25 years, 20 years. We don't see our own blind spot. And in this case, pun intended, but it doesn't matter what it is. In business and other health areas, we need support. First of all, if we try to figure this all out on our own, we don't even, if you just use books, that's how I got started. Books and things like that, free stuff are a great way to get started, to like dip the toes in the water, but you're not going to see long-term results because you don't even know what you're doing wrong or like how long something needs to work for you. So having a coach, and I realized when I started this business as a vision improvement teacher, my mom, by the way, asked me, "What are you doing again, Claudia? Can you make any money with this?" She's like, "Oh my God, my mom." Anyway, so I had to learn. I used to work before in a different industry, and I didn't know anything about marketing or anything about anything online, right? So I had to learn things. And my very first program in 2016 was a $997, like $1,000 business program. And it was a great program. I learned a lot. And it's like, and actually did a lot of great things in that program. It was a perfect starting step. But eventually I realized I really need somebody to tell me exactly what to do. And because if I test all these things myself, I'm wasting so much time, energy, and money on things that I'm not good at that take me like 10 times longer than somebody who knows what they're doing. So I learned really quickly that it's actually more efficient to hire help and have somebody to help you with something that they're really good at and that you're not good at. And when it comes to vision, working with a teacher is so important to see quick results, because that otherwise you might be doing the do-it-yourself method and you're like, I've tried this and it doesn't work. And then you add to the long list of people who put out in there this is not working. So hopefully this was helpful. Um, you know, Deb says I use mild readers only to, yeah, so paint my toenails. Exactly. But basically, the astigmatism is an uneven cornea, and I teach in my natural vision program, which by the way starts tomorrow. It's the last time I'm running it. So this is your chance to join the program. Tomorrow is the first day we start the program. But in that program, I have a formula where I teach you how to safely remove astigmatism. But here's the thing. If I always like, everybody gets that idea. If you break a bone, you get a cast, and you wear that cast for what, 3, 4 weeks? I've never had a broken bone in my life, fingers crossed. But if you do, you don't wear that cast forever, right? Eventually it comes off, and maybe you wear a bandage, and then you get physical therapy to strengthen the muscles and bone mobility, stretching. I don't actually know, but you do some kind of physical therapy. But then you're basically done, right? You're done. But if you astigmatism correction is like having a cast on your arm, but now you're trying to actually get rid of it while you're wearing that cast. It's like there's no way to increase mobility, release tension in the eye muscles. So astigmatism is also related to extraocular eye muscle tension. So the key is to get out of the cast, or the whatever you want to call the glasses or the contacts, the crutch, and get into like a lower level. Like, so if we use the cast example, getting into a bandage or supported something, but not that stiff thing that keeps you locked in. So that is super important. And if you don't want to do it, that's fine. But don't blame the method. And in my case, mine is called the natural vision method. Don't blame the method on not working when you are trying to do it yourself, when you're thinking it's just a bunch of eye exercises, when you only do the free stuff, when you're not willing to get into reduced glasses. And when you're expecting, like, if I don't see results in like 7 days by doing it myself, doing eye exercises, wearing my full strength glasses, and then saying this doesn't work, okay? It works. It 100% works. We have thousands, actually tens of thousands of success stories. And this is not about, I don't have anybody else sharing today, but I want you to know, if you make those mistakes, you will not see results, and you will think it's your fault, or I want you to know that we all need support. If you really want to get fit, you get a personal trainer, you get somebody to help you figure out what is the best thing for you, because if you do things the wrong way when it comes to exercise, you can actually hurt yourself. You can actually start way worse than you started. And with vision improvement, I haven't seen anybody get worse by trying to do it themselves, but they also didn't really see results, and they got frustrated. And then they're like, oh, I just give up on this stuff. Anyway, thank you for being here. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. We go live every single Wednesday, and next Wednesday, really exciting, I'm going to be on with my friend Dr. Radka Toms. She's an ophthalmologist in London, where I'm going to be speaking at the Health Optimization Summit in next weekend, not this one, and talking about vision improvement. I'm super excited about that. But Radka and I will talk about eye exams. What are the things that we're doing at an eye exams? I get so many questions. Is it okay to take atropine drops? What about the OTC scans? What is all this? What is all this? So we're going to walk you through. I'm going to ask her all the questions. And if you have any questions that you want, please send an email to support@NaturalClearVision and tell us, what are the things that you really want me to ask an ophthalmologist about an eye exam? I really want your questions so that I really can ask her the best questions possible to give you the most success. And obviously, when you come live next Wednesday, same time, in your live on the YouTube, you can ask questions live, and then I can also do it that way. Thank you for being here, and I really appreciate you subscribing to this channel. Tell other people about it. If you're interested in really starting your vision improvement journey, Natural Clear Vision starts tomorrow. I should have the link ready to go, but it should also be in the show notes. Otherwise, email us, support@NaturalClearVision. This is your chance to get the same results that so many of my clients. And on my YouTube channel, by the way, when you scroll down, we haven't uploaded the newest videos yet, but some of the older ones are on there. We have so many people getting rid of their correction on the driver's license after 40 years, improving or eliminating cataracts, astigmatism, avoiding Fuchs dystrophy, corneal transplant surgery. We have so many stories, being able to drive at night again, not needing glasses. Guys, it's possible when you're ready to show up and do the work. Okay. So thank you so much for being here. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you for YouTube, and make sure to subscribe to the channel and tell other people about it so that more people know, like my dentist who heard this for the first time this morning, and I'm going to see him again on Friday, and I'm going to check in with him if he's now blinking more and doing some of my habits. So free stuff is great to get started, but to get really long-term results, you need a coach. And I'm one of those coaches. There's other coaches out there that help you with this, and I want you to find the person that's right for you. So thank you guys. Have a beautiful rest.